welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy that you're here, and yeah, we're painting today, and I'm doing a voiceover, which I don't do very often, and I want to do more often in the future so that I can be helpful and more efficient. And yeah, I'm nervous, as you might be able to tell, but we're gonna get past this, and I hope this video will be helpful for you in some kind of way. And yeah, I'm showing you the supplies I'm using today. I'm gonna list them in the description so you can check them out. And yeah, I'd say we just jump straight into the tutorial. I'm using the Meat and Fluid acrylic paints, and I honestly absolutely love these paints because they are a little bit more liquid than regular acrylic paints, so they don't dry so quickly and they're super easy to work with. I'm using the filbert brush that I showed you in the beginning, and I'm starting to cover our canvas in this beautiful baby blue paint. Next, I'm mixing some of the pink gouache paint with the pink acrylic paint. I just really love this shade of pink, so I wanted to use it. And we're starting to work it into the pastel blue that is already on the canvas. And as you can see here, to cover a larger space, I'm holding the brush so that I paint with the flat side, but now I'm gonna start creating those feather-like clouds in a second. And you can see here I'm holding the brush in a different angle so that I can create these fine lines. Next up, we're gonna add the orange acrylic paint to the canvas, and I added a little bit of white paint to brighten it up, and I'm slowly working the pink and the orange into each other. I often get asked how I blend my acrylics or how I create a gradient, and as you can see on the side, I'm constantly mixing both colors into each other so that I can basically have a third color, which I'm then spreading in the middle, and I'm working all of the colors into each other. I'm going in with the pink, going down into the orange, and from down I'm going up into the pink again. Now I'm mixing the pink and the orange together to get this rich, shining orange pinkish color to cover the rest of the canvas. I really like it. And yeah, like I said before, I'm just working the colors into each other. I'm going in with the pink again, then I'm going in with the orange again, and I'm just working the colors into each other. Also, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at explaining yet. I promise I'm gonna get better. I'm practicing, okay? Next, we're starting with the clouds. I'm using the pink gouache paint that I showed you earlier, and I'm still using the filbert brush, and I feel like the shape is perfect to map out the clouds because the top of the brush is round anyways, so that you get the little fluffy cloud parts, I guess. And yeah, I'm just, as you can see, just mapping out where I want the clouds to be. And I have to say, I didn't pay much attention to how my clouds look like in this painting because I was concentrating and I was nervous because I was constantly filming. Usually when I film reels for my Instagram, I pause the video from time to time so that I can focus more on what I'm actually doing. But here, since the camera was constantly on the canvas, I got a little nervous. But yeah, you can map your clouds out the way you want them to look like. I just really like to create a balance between the two sides, so one of the clouds is set a little higher than the other one, but I work them into each other a little bit, so that there's only a little space left in the middle, just so it looks a little more natural. Yeah, now we're moving on to my favorite paint in general, white paint. I, as someone who constantly paints very bright and pastel colored stuff, white paint is everything I need and the paint I spend the most money on. But yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed with this white paint by Winsor & Newton. It's just so good. We're adding a little dimension to the clouds. I want my light source to be in the sky, which is gonna be the moon. It's probably not super logical because the lower part of the sky is also very bright, so you would think the sun is probably somewhere down there, but I'm using the moon as the light source because this is a dreamy painting. And I'm, as you can see, adding dimension to the cloud by putting the brighter color towards the light source. So we basically just want to create the effect that the top of the cloud looks illuminated by the light of the moon. And I'm trying to achieve this by adding this yellowish white paint onto the very, very top of our cloud fluff, as I'd like to call it. Now for a little more detail, I'm going in with a very, very fine brush and I'm adding more of the yellowish white to the very top of the cloud, just to give it even more dimension and to highlight that the light source is illuminating the very, very top of the clouds the most. And also to give the clouds a little more shape, because there's usually a lot of fluffiness to the cloud. And yeah, this very skinny brush, oh my god, what am I saying? This very thin brush is helping to add more details to every single cloud part that we mapped out in the beginning. What I love to do for blending is using my fingers. Do not underestimate the power of your fingers while painting. You can blend so well with your fingers when the paint is still wet. And yeah, I really turned that into a habit, painting with my fingers. It's also very connecting to, like, there's a connection between you and your painting somehow. It's fun. You should try it if you haven't already. I can really recommend it. And yeah, I'm not entirely satisfied yet with how the cloud looks like, so I'm constantly adding a little more bright color to the top of the clouds and blending it with my fingers. Now on to a part that is a little bit more tricky. We're painting the moon, and nailing the perfect moon shape just takes a lot of practice. So if you want to have a nicely shaped moon, just paint a lot of moons over and over again. Practice painting a moon so that you end up with the shape that you like. Here I'm starting to paint the shine of the moon first, because I can be a little less careful with the shape. I'm also creating this sort of fade out by spreading the color a little bit to the outside. I'm making the moon thicker than I want it to be, so that I can now go in with the white paint. And this is no mixed paint, it's just straight up white paint, and I'm painting the actual shape of the moon that I want. I'm so happy that I caught this on camera, because now I can show you that you can just remove little mistakes like this with a paper towel. I always keep a paper towel near when I'm painting to get rid of excess water, as I'm doing right now, and to get rid of excess paint, and to remove little water stains in case they drop onto the canvas, which can happen. It's not a problem. We can we can fix it. As long as you don't pour your entire cup of tea or coffee over your painting, you will be fine. Yeah, I'm continuing to fill in the moon a little more to make it shine. If you know my art, you know that I always love to have very shiny stars in the sky. And the way I'm creating this effect is by, first of all, putting a little bit of white paint onto the canvas. It should be more on the watery side, and I'm just putting it on a canvas and then blending it with my favorite art supply, my fingers. Next, I'm loading my brush with more white paint, and now we're gonna bring the stars to life. First of all, testing if I like the consistency of the paint, and now I'm going to put little dots into the previously created white stains on the canvas. I'm so bad at explaining, help. I'm gonna try better in the future, but also English is not my first language, so I'm in the trenches, okay? But yeah, I hope it is, yeah, let me put you a little closer so you get what I mean. I hope it's kind of understandable what I mean. I'm painting a star now, and this is something that you also probably have to practice, and I also have to practice because I'm not entirely satisfied yet with how my stars look like. But since we created a little shine in the background already, the stars immediately look nicer. Also, can we just appreciate how nice it looks when the evening sun is shining onto my desk? I absolutely love when this happens. It's so inspiring and so calming and so dreamy. And I wish I could have made this video as dreamy as the entire aesthetic that is going on here, but my voiceover is kind of ruining it, which is fine. I feel like it's also at the same time maybe good that I'm showing more of my personality, which I want to do more in the future. I'm a faceless account, and the least I can give back to all of you who are showing me so much love, which I appreciate it so much, honestly. And the least I can do is just connect with you more through showing who I am behind this account. And before I forget explaining what we're doing, we're creating a shooting star, which is another element that adds a little more magic to your painting. So I really love to add shooting stars to my skies. And it's a little tricky because you have to practice having a steady hand so you can draw nice lines. And I often like to add two shooting stars next to each other because it creates this nice symmetry and balance. And yeah, you have to make sure your paint is not too thin but also not too thick, so you get a very fine line. I could have done better in this version of the painting, but yeah, I'm just trying to give you a little bit of advice on how to do some of the stuff that I usually do. And here I'm adding more shine to the stars that we painted a few minutes ago, I just sometimes want them to shine a little brighter. And when the paint dries, it fades a little, so you have to refresh it sometimes by adding more paint to the canvas. I'm doing the same with the moon, I'm doing the same with the clouds, and I'm blending again with my fingers. And yeah, I'm just refreshing the paint. And these are basically the final touches of the painting. What I also like to do for final touches sometimes is using acrylic markers, like I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm just adding some final touches to the painting, and that's it. We're done. You made it until the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope it was helpful somehow. I really hope you could learn maybe at least one thing from this video. That's the whole intention I had, because I just want to start giving back more in response to all the love that I've been getting over the past months, which is insane. I appreciate it so much. I hope you know, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I see you again in the future. Bye.